Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about graph of quadratic equation. This is very important topic. You can expect one question this year. So give heading graph of quadratic expression. A quadratic function. Normally graph is drawn for a function. Okay. So give heading graph of quadratic function. Okay, any idea about this? For a linear equation, we will get a straight line, and for quadratic function, here the graph is parabola. So look here. Suppose the function is y. This is equal to f of x. That is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. This is the quadratic function. Now, if I am going to draw the graph, it's a parabola. Why I will explain. Don't worry. So look at this, the graph. This is the graph of the quadratic function. This is a parabola. This vertex is minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. These two are alpha and beta. So this is alpha comma 0. This point is beta comma 0. And here y-axis is nothing but ax square plus bx plus c. Here parabola intersect the y-axis at 0 comma c. Don't worry, I will explain each and every bit. Now, why parabola? Why structure is parabola? Why parabola? To explain this one, I am giving a simple function y is equal to x square. Because here in quadratic expression, this is what? X square, degree is 2. So if I consider y equal to x square, and if I am going to plot the graph, I just keep on putting some values of x, and for that I will get y. Y is equal to x square. At a 0, I will get a 0, 0 square. 1, I will get 1. Minus 1, I will get 1. At a 2, y is equal to 4. At x is equal to minus 2, again I will get 4. If I am going to draw the graph, look here, at x equal to 0, y is 0. At x equal to 1, I will get y value, it is 1. At x equal to minus 1, I will get 1. At x equal to 2, I will get 4. This is 2, 3, 4. Here is the point. Sorry. At x equal to minus 2, again I will get 4. Let's say this is 4. If I draw, this is the graph of a parabola. Okay, if I will join all the point, I will get a parabola. Look at the orientation. Now similarly, if I will draw y is equal to minus x square, so it will be magnitude reversal only. This is the orientation. Look at the orientation. Orientation of the graph. This is called what? This is y equal to minus x square. This one is y equal to x square. Y equal to x square function, y equal to minus x square function. So here shape is what? The shape is parabola. That's why this is look like parabola. I will derive also. From here, if I will simplify, I will expand this one. I will create the parabolic expression. Don't worry. After 5 minutes. But look at this orientation. This is called magnitude reversal. Done. Now, suppose I am going to draw y equal to x square plus 1. So, little information about this graph. Don't worry. Okay. I will explain that particularly. But look here. How I will derive this structure. Suppose I will say I am going to draw y equal to x square plus 1. How to draw y equal to x square plus 1? X square plus 1 means this parabola, it is shifted 1 units up. So this is called magnitude shifting. This is y equal to x square plus 1. And here I am adding a constant term in this function. If I will add a constant term in the function and plus 1, so it is shifted 1 unit up. So this is what? This coordinate is 0, 1. y 0 comma 1 on the y axis, x is equal to 0, and it is shifted 1 unit up. Similarly, if I am going to draw y equal to x square minus 1, this is the graph. Y equal to x square, this is minus 1, this is 0 comma minus 1, 0 comma minus 1. Okay, it is shifted 1 unit down. So this is called what? Magnitude shifting. This curve is what? This is x square minus 1. This x square plus 1, x square minus 1. This is called magnitude shifting. Magnitude shifting. Means here shifting is done on y-axis. Shifting is done on y-axis. Original graph is y equal to x square. When I say y equal to x square plus 1, it is shifted one unit up. When I draw x square minus 1, I will add a constant term minus 1. It is shifted 1 unit down. Clear? Orientation understood? Location of x square plus 1, x square minus 1 clear? Now I am going to discuss about if shifting is done on x-axis. Shifting is done on x-axis. So what is the graph? Okay, you take this insert here. Okay, after that when I combine everything, I will get this one. Okay, so take this screenshot or write it down. Okay. Now look here. The original graph is y equal to x square. This is parabolic in nature. Y equal to x square. This is the x axis. This is y axis. Now I am going to draw y equal to x minus 1 whole square. When I draw y equal to x minus 1 whole square, look at the structure. Here this is y equal to x minus 1 whole square. X minus 1 means what? It is a delay or advance. Right? Here graph is shifted towards the right. Here graph is shifted towards the right. Why right? Here graph is shifted towards the right. Normally suppose your class timing, it is shifting right means it is a delay. Why delay? Suppose class timing is 6 p.m. and you reach at 6:10. So you are delay. Yes or no? So this is right shift. Similarly, if class timing is 6 p.m., you reached at 5:55, so you are in advance. So advance means left shift. Advance means left shift. So here I will draw like this. This is advance. So left shift means advance. So this graph is what? Here y is equal to x plus 1 whole square. X plus 1 whole square. And this is y equal to x minus 1 whole square. So this is very, very important. Shifting towards right, shifting towards left. This is important. Clear? Now if I combine everything, I say before that one point, after that I combine this one. Suppose, what is amplitude scaling? Look here. This is y equal to x square. Here this is x axis, this is y axis, and this graph is what? Y equal to x square. Now suppose amplitude scaling. Amplitude scaling means I am going to discuss about or draw the graph of 2x square. Y equal to 2x square. 2x square means here is 2x square. Here y is equal to 2x square. Why y equal to 2x square? Look here. Suppose at 1 y equal to x square. At 1, if I put 1 here, I will get 1. I will get 1. I will get 1 here. Similarly, at 1, if I consider this function, okay, I will get 2. I will get 2. Understood now? Now similarly, suppose one can draw x square by 2. X square by 2 means, look here, x square by 2. So this is equal to half. If I put x square by 2, this graph is what? Y equal to x square divided by 2. This is called magnitude scaling. Magnitude scaling. Okay, structure same, but magnitude value will change. At x equal to 1, for y equal to x square, I get y value 1. For y equal to 2x square, I will get y value 2. And for y equal to x square by 2, I will get half. So first we discuss magnitude shifting. This one is on shifting done on x-axis, and here this is magnitude scaling. Clear? Now if I combine everything, why I combine everything? Just draw this, okay, for understanding point of view. Now look, if I expand the quadratic function, now this is very important. If I expand the quadratic function, what I will get? Expand the quadratic function means, look here, here y can be written as, if I take a common, so inside the bracket you can write x square plus b by ax plus c. I will take c outside. Now if I want to write it in perfect square form, so here y can be written as a whole into, this can be written as x plus b by 2a the whole square. Why? If I expand this one, this is perfect square form. If I expand this one, I will get x square plus 2 into b by 2a, 2 get cancelled. So b by ax, which is present here, and some extra term is what? B square divided by 4a square. To eliminate this, this is the extra term, this is not present here. To eliminate this, I add minus b square divided by 4a square, and plus c is there. Then this is the extra term, and this one is the extra term here. Now if I simplify, if I take this one to left hand side, this can be written as y plus b square divided by 4a square minus c, that is equal to a whole into x plus b by 2a whole square. If I continue simplifying this one, so here I will get y plus, here LCM is 4a square, and this is b square minus 4. So here this a is there, na? This a is there. If I expand this, a into this, so a square get cancelled. A square is not present. This a get cancelled. So this is a. So this is 4ac. Then that is equal to a whole into x plus b by 2a whole square. Now this is what? B square minus 4ac. This is discriminant. So you can write y in this way. Ki y plus, in this place, b square minus 4ac, you can write d divided by 4a, that is equal to a whole into x plus b by 2a whole square. Done. Now if you observe here, this one is written in this form, y minus y1, that is equal to any constant into x minus x1 whole square. This is a parabolic expression. This is a parabolic expression, and here vertex is what? Vertex. If I discuss about vertex, this is x1 comma y1. x1 comma y1. Now if I compare here, so here vertex is what? If I equate this term equal to 0, so x plus b by 2a equal to 0. So x is equal to minus b by 2a, which is written here. This is vertex of x coordinate. And here minus d by 4a. If I equate this term is left hand side is equal to 0, so y is equal to minus d by 4a. Minus d by 4a. This is y coordinate of the vertex. Are understood now why here I am writing minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a? And this expression is what? It is a parabolic expression. That's why curve is what? Parabola. Graph of quadratic function, it is a parabola. Clear? Now second point. This is x-axis. On the x-axis, y value, on the x-axis y equal to 0, if I put 0 here, this is a quadratic equation. For equation, you will get roots. If I solve, I will get 2 root, quadratic degree 2, alpha and beta. So here I will write alpha comma 0 and this is beta comma 0. Similarly, this is parabola, and parabola intersect the y-axis at the positive value, and you know on the y-axis x equal to 0. If I put 0 here, then y equal to c. So when x equal to 0, at that time y equal to c. So parabola intersect the y axis at the positive value. So this coordinate is 0, c. Clear? Very important. Done. Now y equal to x square. If you observe, this parabola is what? Upward facing. Upward facing concave parabola. This is concave mirror or convex? It looks like concave. Understood na? It is look like concave. So this is called concave parabola. Done. So this is called concave upward facing parabola. But how it is derived, clear? Otherwise you take the derivative. This is not for you. Okay, for engineering student they can understand, or those who have math in 12th. If I take the derivative here, this is 2ax plus b equal to 0. And 2ax means dy by dx. This is 2ax plus b equal to 0. Now 2ax plus b equal to 0 means what? X is equal to minus b by 2a. Are understood now? Then you put the value of x here, you will get value of y minus b by 4a. But this is the expression. No need to prove this. Okay, but understand why this is parabola? Because of this. If I simplify, if I expand the quadratic function, I will get the structure like this. Okay, parabolic expression, parabolic function. Done. Now about this parabola, all the parameter, why it is upward facing and when it is upward facing and when it is downward facing. So bit number 1, when a is greater than 0, normally y equal to x square. Curve is what? Curve is like this. Already done. So this is upward facing parabola. So here when a equal to 0, a means coefficient of x square. So it is equal to, it is greater than 0 means positive value. So this is the structure. So here this diagram is drawn for when a is greater than 0. When a is greater than 0, this is the structure. So you can say when a is greater than 0, the shape of the parabola it is upward facing concave parabola. And when a is less than 0, the shape of the parabola is downward facing concave parabola. Okay, so when it is upward facing concave parabola and when it is a downward facing concave parabola. Understood now? When a greater than 0, this is the structure. If a is less than 0, this is the structure. Y equal to minus x square. So this is downward facing. So upward facing, downward facing. A greater than 0, a less than 0. Done. Now important parameter about c. Acha, if parabola caught the y-axis or intersect the y-axis at positive value, c greater than 0. When parabola caught the y-axis like this is also a parabola. Here a is less than 0. It will caught the y-axis at negative value. So here c is less than 0. So by observing the graph, you can tell me the status about a, b. Done. Now about c or about d. Another two parameter left. This is b and d. So first I will discuss about d. D means discriminant. And d stands for discriminant. Discriminant means this is b square minus 4ac. Okay, so discriminant normally describe the nature of the roots. Nature means whether you will get real roots or imaginary roots, real and distinct or real and equal. Now when d is greater than 0, if d greater than 0, I will get a real and distinct roots. A real and a distinct roots, meaning separate value. Similarly, if d is equal to 0, I will get a real and equal roots. And if d is less than 0, I will get imaginary roots. Now if you observe this diagram, first diagram, this one, this is the x-axis. This x-axis is also called real axis. This is called a real axis. If a parabola touches the x-axis, then you get real roots, and it will touch the x-axis at 2 points. So this is what? D greater than 0. Real and distinct roots, separate value. And if you observe figure number 2, here this is the real axis. Here parabola does not touch the real axis. So here for this diagram, I will get imaginary roots. So you understand now? You can tell me the status by observing the graph. You can tell me all the parameter of quadratic function, like a, what is the status of a, what is the status of b, what is status of c, and what is status of d. A done, for c done, for d it is done. Now how to check for a b, whether b is positive or negative? How you know? Now who will decide? Now vertex will decide. Here this is vertex. Here vertex is what? Vertex is positive. Here vertex is positive, and vertex is what? Vx is equal to minus b by 2a. Done. So here a is what? In this diagram vertex is positive. When I know my result is positive, so if I write positive here, so this is minus b divided by 2 into, for figure 1, a what? A greater than 0. So if a greater than 0, that means it is positive. You know, negative and positive become negative, but final answer is positive. So b must be what? Negative. So here b is less than 0. In figure number 1, b is less than 0. Why less than 0? Clear? Vertex is positive. If vertex is positive and vertex value is what? X coordinate of the vertex minus b by 2a. Here a status is what? A is greater than 0. If I write a is positive here, I mean denominator is positive. This is a negative sign. Minus plus become minus. Final result is positive. So b must be negative, na? Are you clear? So here b is less than 0. So for this figure, a greater than 0, c greater than 0, d greater than 0. Why d greater than 0? It will touch the x-axis, real axis, and b less than 0. So if I write all the status here, a greater than 0, here b less than 0, c greater than 0, and fourth one about d, it is also greater than 0. So by observing, by looking at a particular graph, you can tell me all the parameter of the quadratic function. Now based on this, I will solve one question. Understood? Just write it down or take a screenshot. Are you clear? Now okay. Question number 1. If a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, it has imaginary roots. Imaginary roots means what? D is less than 0. And parabola does not cover the x-axis. So if it has imaginary roots and all the parameter of the quadratic equation, this is what? Greater than 0, then find the possible graph of quadratic function. Option A, I will give you 4 structure. First you try. This is the curve. Option B, option C, and option D here. Okay, which one is correct? First try. Already told you. Once again, I just revise everything. When A is greater than 0, parabola is concave upward facing. When A is less than 0, and parabola means graph of the quadratic function, it is concave downward. When C is greater than 0, parabola touches the y-axis, intersect the y-axis at positive value. When C is less than 0, parabola touches the y-axis at negative value here. Negative value here. Fifth one, when D is greater than 0, parabola touches the x-axis. X-axis means real axis. When D is less than 0, less than 0 means imaginary. These are imaginary. Parabola does not touch the x-axis. For this one, imaginary roots. Seventh one, about B, who will decide? Vertex will decide. X coordinate of the vertex. X coordinate of the vertex value is what? Minus b by 2a. Just remember. Just remember. This is very important. Question is in CAT, they can ask you find the maximum or minimum value of the quadratic function. Quadratic function is given maximum value, minimum value. Who will decide the value? Y coordinate will decide the value. For what value of x that will be exist? Now minus b by 2a. Any quadratic function is given. You just find what is a, what is b, what is c, the values. Then put here. Very simple. And done. Now, which option is correct here? If I observe option A, here D greater than less than 0. D less than 0 means imaginary, which satisfy my condition. Here Y positive, C positive. C means parabola intersect the y-axis at positive value. C positive means C greater than 0. Okay. A greater than 0. In this curve, upward facing, A greater than 0. But this is what? This is vertex Vx. Acha. If I write the vertex value here, vertex value is minus v by 2a. So here vertex is what? In this diagram, vertex is minus b by 2a. According to the question, A is positive, B also positive. So minus B positive, A positive. B positive, A positive. I mean vertex here is what? It will be negative. But here vertex is positive. So this is not my answer. Here vertex is positive. Vertex is positive, not possible. Here D greater than 0. Parabola touches the x-axis, so not possible. If I observe C, here A greater than 0, C greater than 0, here vertex is negative, vertex is negative, and here D also, D already told you, here D less than 0, A greater than 0, C greater than 0, and B is what? B. Status of a B, it is positive, greater than 0. It is given, this 3 is given. So this one is the correct answer. Why this is not my answer? Because here A is less than 0. A is less than 0. So if data is given, you can predict the graph. Similarly, reverse also you can find. Suppose I will give you a quadratic graph, quadratic function graph. You can tell me all the status of quadratic parameter. That means second example I will solve. This one clear, all the status, all these 7-8 bit done. Now you can write it down. Okay. Now I am going to provide you a graph and you have to tell me all the parameter of quadratic function. So tell me the status of the quadratic function for this particular diagram. For this quadratic function, suppose a graph is given like this. This is x-axis, y-axis, this is ax square plus bx plus c. Tell me the status. Status means what? Status about A, status about B, status about C, and status about D, discriminant. Acha, here downward facing. Downward facing means A less than 0. Done. Here vertex is what? Vertex. This vertex, x coordinate of the vertex is positive. Okay. X coordinate of the vertex, Vx, it is positive. Vx value is what? Minus b by 2a. Here a is positive, so minus b divided by positive. And here vertex is positive. And vertex positive, so b must be what? If I write negative value, so minus minus become plus. And if I write b is equal to negative, b negative means negative negative become positive. Here vertex is what? Positive. X coordinate of the vertex is, it is positive. So left hand side it is positive. A value is positive. Sorry. Here a is negative. And here a is negative. So here this is negative. So b is what? Positive. So b greater than 0. Here parabola intersect the y-axis at positive value. So c greater than 0. And parabola touches the x-axis at two different points. It will cut the real axis. So d greater than 0. So easily you can tell me this 4 value. Tell me the status. Okay. So this is all about graph of quadratic function. Now we will solve few questions and it will be helpful. And maximum of the question, if question will come from quadratic function, that will be from here. Okay, about the graph. Find the maximum value, find the minimum value. Another key point. Here the maximum value, maxima, about maxima and minima. Value is what? Formula is what? For maxima, formula is minus d by 4a. Minus d by 4a is what? Suppose this is the graph of quadratic function. This one is the vertex. And this one is the vertex. This coordinate is minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. This is x-axis. This one is your y-axis. This is equal to a quadratic function. It's a parabola. Then, if you observe this graph, this point is what? Vertex. This is the minimum point. And this one is the minimum value. So here, maxima and minima, both formulas are same. For this diagram, you will get minima. Minima formula is y coordinate of the vertex minus d by 4a. And when you get maxima, when a is less than 0, you will get maxima. And when a is greater than 0, you will get minima. When a is greater than 0, you will get minimum point. Minimum point formula same. And for both formula same. But who will decide whether you will get maxima and minima? Now a will decide. If a greater than 0, you will get minima. If a is less than 0, you will get maxima. Very, very important. When you will get minimum value, when you will get maximum value. Suppose graph is like this. Here this is the maximum point. Here I will get maxima. And here I will get minima. Minimum point, minimum value of this function. And this point is maximum value of this function. So when you get maxima, when a is less than 0. When you will get minima, when a is greater than 0. Very, very important. And formula for both same. Minus d by 4a. D stands for discriminant. B square minus 4ac. If quadratic function is given, what you find the value of a, value of b, value of c. Then put here b square minus 4ac divided by 4a. At what value of x it is minima? Now this is the x coordinate minus b by 2a. At minus b by 2a, this is the x coordinate of the vertex. At that point, you will get minima when a is greater than 0. If a is less than 0, you will get minima. Very, very important for exam point of view. And very, very important for exam point of view. Just note it down. Just note it down. This vertex. Very, very important. You can expect one question this year. This one. Draw it. Okay, now we are going to solve few questions. But before that, just draw it. Okay, write down another question. Find the minimum value of the expression x square minus 5x plus 6, and also find the value of x for which the expression attains minimum value. The expression attains minimum value. Okay, why minimum value? Because x square, coefficient of x square is a, and here a is positive. A positive means a greater than 0 means you will get minima. So first of all, I am going to find the minimum value. Minimum value or minima. Formula is minus d by 4a, already discussed. And d means what? Minus b square minus 4ac divided by 4a. And if you observe here, the quadratic expression a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 5, and here c is equal to 6. So if I put here, this is minus b square minus 5 square minus 4ac divided by 4a. So the answer is, this is minus of 25 minus 24. This is 1. Minus 1 divided by 4. Minus 1 by 4. This is the minimum point. At what value of x you will get minimum value? Now vertex Vx is equal to minus b by 2a. So this is minus b is equal to how much? Now minus 5 divided by 2 into a. So this is equal to 5. 5 by 2. And this is equal to 5 by 2. At 5 by 2 I will get the minimum value. And that minimum value is what? Minimum value is minus 1 by 4. Whenever question is find the minimum value of the expression, means the minima, you apply minus d by 4a. For maxima also this formula, same formula, but conditions are different. When a greater than 0, I will get minima. When a less than 0, means parabola is downward facing. Parabola is downward facing. Done. There I will get maxima. Clear? Next question. So any quadratic expression is given, you just evaluate the value of a, b, c, put here. And very easy. Finding minimum value, maximum value is very easy. If you understand the graph, if you understand the quadratic function graph, then it is easy. And you can expect one question this year, guarantee. Clear? Okay, next one. You can check the values, okay. Suppose a quadratic expression is given like this. 7x minus 5x square minus 15. This one is the quadratic expression. Achha, by observing the expression, if it is not given, ki find the minimum value or maximum value, you can predict your answer. Why? Because if you observe x square, look here, coefficient of x square is what? Here coefficient of x square is what? Negative. Coefficient of x square is negative, means a is less than 0. A less than 0 indicate what? I will get maxima. Maxima means question is find the maximum point of this expression. And maxima formula is what? Minus d by 4a. And formula very easy. And here minus d means what? B square minus 4ac divided by 4a. If I put all this value, here a is what? Here a equal to 7, b equal to minus 5, c equal to minus 15. If I put here, so this is minus of b square is 25 minus 5 square minus 4a and c is minus 15 divided by 4a. So just to find it out. Okay. Acha, here I do a mistake. Look here, very important, maximum of the student do this. Maximum of the student do this intentionally. Here I will provide. Why? Now here if you observe, here coefficient of x square is a, so a is what? Minus 5. A equal to minus 5. B equal to what? Coefficient of x is b, that is 7, and c equal to minus 15. Are you understood now? Maximum of the student, what they write? Now this first term, this is a, second b, third is c. No. X square coefficient, that is a, x coefficient, that is b, and this is c, constant term is c. So here if I apply the formula again, are you understood now? Understood? So here maximum of the student, they put this formula, they will get the wrong answer, and that answer is given in the option. So here what I will do, this is minus of b square means 7 square 49 minus 4 a, and here c is what? Minus 15. Then here divided by 4a, and here a is what? Minus 5. So put here, if I put, how much I will get? This is minus of 49 plus, this is how much? 75 into this is minus, this is 49, 75 into 4, that is 300, divided by minus 20. So if I open the bracket, this is minus 49 plus 300 minus 49, 251, divided by minus 20. So my answer is negative. 20 into 12 is what? 240. Done. So I will get 240, 11 is the remainder. So point 20 into 5, 100, 10 is the remainder, again 5. So minus 12.55. Minus 12.55. I understood now how I find the maximum value. This is important. Finding this parameter is important. These values from the expression. Okay. Next we will discuss sign of quadratic function or expression. Acha, who will decide? Sign of quadratic expression means what? Means sign of y. And this is sign of y value. So here you have two cases only. Either sign is positive or negative. When sign is positive, first one, if sign of y, if it is positive means what? Graph looks like this. Positive means like this. Positive means at every value of x, y is positive. If I draw like this is the negative value. Okay. So positive means what? Like this. Here all this value, after putting the x value, whatever y you will get, that is positive. So when this will attain, upward facing, so first condition is a greater than 0. Second one, if d is greater than 0, it will chord the x-axis. And a parabola chord the x-axis. If a parabola will chord the x-axis, means a real axis, there suppose like this, I will get the y values. But here sign is positive, so d must be what? Less than 0, means imaginary roots. Similarly, second important key point, sign is negative. And when sign is negative means like this, you attain the negative value. So here first condition is a is less than 0, downward facing. Second condition, here d also less than 0. So at this condition, sign is negative. At this condition, sign is positive. Sign means, well, sign of y, range. Y means range. After putting some values of x, means a domain. All the possible values of x, these are the domain. And for that domain, for that input, you will get output. That output is nothing but the range. Domain and range in simple language. In detail, I will discuss in function chapter. Done? Now here I am going to find the range of quadratic function. This one very easy. range of quadratic function. This is very important. A range of quadratic function. You can see my function chapter video to understand this domain and range properly. Okay. Now look here. Range of quadratic function. This one is important. Okay. Acha, range means what? Here you have two conditions. When a greater than 0 and when a less than 0. Is a is greater than 0. A is greater than 0 means like this. Suppose this is the curve. This is the curve. Here what is the range? Or does not matter. Okay, like this. This is the curve. A greater than 0, here also a greater than 0, here also a greater than 0. Does not matter which one I choose. But range means what? Here range belongs to, here this value to infinity. This is what? This is minus b by 2a, comma minus d by 4a. When I will discuss about range means y value, vertex y value. So this lies within minus d by 4a to infinity. Okay, to infinity. This is open bracket. Infinity is always open bracket. You don't know where it will end. Done? So from this point to infinity. I understood now? Similarly, if a is less than 0, a less than 0 means this is the curve. A less than 0, either this one or this one, like this. So here minus infinity to this. Okay, so here range, here I will write range, it belongs to, range means y, range means y the value. It belongs to minus infinity to minus d by 4a. It is visible now? Minus infinity to minus d by 4a. Now, here I discussed these 2 points. Here I discussed absolute range. Absolute range means no restriction on input. You can provide any input. But if one condition is given in the question, if restrictions are there, restriction on input means domain. Restriction is x lies within x1 comma x2. If this condition is given, restriction is given, then first one, look here, either vertex, suppose the curve is like this, here this is the vertex. So here you have two conditions. Ki vertex Vx, it is does not lie between x1 comma x2. x1 comma x2. Vertex does not lie between these two. Does not lie means this is the vertex x coordinate. Let's say x1 here and x2 here. So here who will decide my minimum value and maximum value? These 2 points. These 2 points will decide my minimum value and maximum value. So find the value of y at x1, find the value of y at x2. Whichever the bigger, that will be maximum value. Whichever the smaller, that is the minimum value. When vertex does not belongs to x1 and x2, means vertex is outside this range. Second condition, second case, if vertex lies inside this range, suppose this is my graph and here vertex is this one and this is my range, this is x1 and this is x2. So this will give me the maximum value, because here a is what? Here a is less than 0. A less than 0 means what? This curve here, this is the maximum point, maximum value. Now how to find the minimum value? Now you find the value of a at x1, value of y at x1, value of y at x2. Whichever the minimum, that is the minimum value. Maximum value, who will decide me the maximum value? Vertex will give me the maximum value. At this figure, Vx is nothing but the maximum value. And who will give me the minimum value? Now find the value of y at x1, find value of y at x2. Whichever the minimum, that is my answer. The minimum value here, that will give me the minimum value. Maximum, this vertex will decide. Similarly, if structure is like this, okay, 1 second. if structure is this is the minimum point. If this is x1 and this is x2, so this who will give me the minimum value? Na vertex. Vx will decide the minimum value and maximum value. Now find y value at x1. Similarly, find y value at x2. Whichever the maximum, that will give me the maximum value. So this is restriction on input. This 1 and 2, a greater than 0, a less than 0 condition. This is for absolute range. And for absolute range, you can remember this formula. Range is minus d by 4a to infinity when a greater than 0. When a less than 0, this is minus infinity to minus d by 4a. Finding absolute range is not big issue. Big issue is here. You can expect question from here. And from here. When input, it is given on restricted domain. X belongs to x1 comma x2. When this condition is given, how to handle? This is the thought process. Here Vx, first of all, when vertex is outside my range, x1 and x2, so this y value at x1, y value at x2, this will give me minimum and maximum value. So this is very easy. But when vertex lies inside this range, so x1 to x2, here vertex lie, and here a is what? Less than 0. A less than 0 means here I will get maximum value. A greater than 0 means here I will get minimum value. And maximum value who will decide here? Now x1 and x2. Y value at x1, y value at x2. That will decide my minimum value. Sorry, maximum value. Y value at x1, y value at x2. Whichever the bigger, that is nothing but my maximum value. Minimum value vertex will decide. At a minimum value vertex will decide. And for maximum value I have to find this one, I have to find this one. Whichever the bigger, that will give me the maximum value. Similarly here vertex will give me the maximum value and y value at x1, y value at x2, that will decide my minimum value. I understand now? You just observe, try to understand all these concepts. Very important, this one. Okay? Thank you. Bye.